Alright, today was a really crazy, rainy and gross day, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to head off to the bins. Man, I think everybody on the planet headed off to the bins. Went to the bins, couldn't get a parking spot. People were circling and circling like buzzards and trying to get a parking spot. So I went off to another thrift store that was like a couple minutes down the road, if that, and then I came back and I got the last parking spot. I was absolutely tickled to death. There were some abandoned shopping carts out in the parking lot by the front of the store, and I got one, and there was zero in the store, so even better. Then I went in there and I was like, and I found a couple of things that didn't really, and then all of a sudden the comic books started just pouring out of the woodwork. I worked my tail off to find all these crazy hundreds of comic books, and I did not buy very many of them. I think I bought like $7.50, $8 worth of comic books. It was just crazy at 50 cents a piece. These were all like really weird titles, and I accidentally threw back a signed comic book, and I made a few mistakes here, but I'll show you what I have. And I got a couple of DVDs as well. I have something called Finding Your Inner Fish, or something, PBS documentary of some kind. I don't know what it is. And then I found Horatio's Drive, America's First Road Trip. So how cool is that one there? I don't remember if I've seen this one or not. It was brand new factory sealed, and I couldn't look at the DVDs too long because they're $2.29 each, and they stack up like crazy. My bill was almost $30. I got World's Heaviest Turntable. It looks like it's going to be an amazing turntable. I can't find much about the turntable. It's an Iowa 2200, probably came out in 1978 or something like that. And it was kind of a, I would say a budget model, but a moderate one, because people are saying the 2600 is better than the 2200. Some guy in the UK bought one for approximately $200 and some dollars. And it cost me something like almost $14. I said, that's fine. So, because it was 79 cents a pound, this thing weighed probably like 15 pounds or something ridiculous. Crazy. But I want to show you off these crazy comic books that I got. And let's take a look at those here very quickly. So the first comic book here is Danica Patrick. There was all these Fame comic books, and a lot of these were Blue Water comics. In fact, 99% of them. This one's dirty and beat up a little bit, but I'll clean that. There's stuff that'll clean up on the front of it. Danica Patrick. Now, some of these comic books I got have slightly inappropriate covers. Some of them have inappropriate pictures inside, depending on what you feel is inappropriate here. A lot of interesting, weird ads in here. There was a lot of PETA ads. There's Jenny Garth for PETA, and there was another ad with like Joan Jett being a vegetarian. Very unusual comics. And then there's Danica Patrick swimsuit model issue picture there. Very, very unusual comics here. Kind of some just weird. Wrath of the Titans. And all kinds of interesting stuff here. Here's Blue Water Productions, Justin Bieber at Walmart. Interesting. So there was some sort of mini comics of Fame, so they weren't the same. And then there was graphic novels. I don't know, something called Judo Girl. Very bizarro comic book there. Know nothing about it. There was lots of number ones. This is, I think, book number 2. I just grabbed, you know, things that had like more colorful graphics and, again, very bizarre and weird stuff. Here's an Obama comic book here with the foil on there. Some guy was giving me grief for grabbing some of these. I said, you know what, they're just comic books. Don't give me any grief about it. We don't need to go into politics. So, I don't know, just kind of strange. You know, some people you should not even make eye contact with at the bins. Just leave them alone, because you say something or they say something and then it's all over. So there's that, and there's like just weird stuff. There were Sarah Palin comic books as well too. I think I left some of those. This one's The Misadventures of Adam West. There was also a Stan Lee comic book, but it was kind of beat up, and some of the graphics on these look like they're just computer generated junk. Some of them are okay. And then some of them have crazy amounts of words in it, and you can't even barely read them. So I don't know. We'll get through this one here. And some of the ads here are really quite interesting of what... There was a bunch of Vincent Price comic books, but again, I had to leave those. There was one called The 10th Muse or something like that. This one is some sort of tribute to September 11. So very unusual comic book there. I don't know. And there was tons of like this Muse comic book, and I only grabbed a few of them. I think one of those was autographed, and that's the one I threw back by mistake. First collector's item issue, all new action. It almost looks like a DC, but it says TW on there. And 10th Muse, and these were originally when they were $3, $3.50, and I think they're closer to $6 or $7 now. I can't show you all of this one here, but this is the humanoids, so I'm kind of an inappropriate cover there. I can't show you that one. I can't show you some of the artwork in there. Don't know if I can show you a picture in here. Kind of, but I don't really want to. It's kind of close. But there's an ad for Earth's Mightiest in there, and the back is Wolverine and X-Men. It's like Marvel. So this Blue Water might have been like kind of a side, Marvel side. Then I got a graphic novel of Isis Beginnings. So don't know much about this particular Isis. Some of these were promoting the original Isis from the 70s on the back of it. So I thought that was cool. I don't know if I grabbed one of those. He's in the news quite a lot. Mark Zuckerberg. I sometimes I call him Zuckerberg, but anyway, Mark Zuckerberg, creator of Facebook, and all of these, a lot of these were issue number 1. This one was $6.99. Yeah, it was something like $8.99 or $6.99 at one point, but these were 50 cents a piece. These are the kinds of things that go in the bargain basement. This is Rena or Lena Marrow. I don't know who it is, but this is the 10th Muse. It looks like Rena Marrow. I don't know who that is. Kind of a Pam Anderson kind of look there. There were different models for this, and I cannot remember. Not Carmen Electra, but there was another one, 10th Muse model, and I didn't get all of those. It was not on the cover. I forget who she was. I need to read on the... These are icky, so I can't show you all of this here. But here's Leprechaun. This one's kind of an inappropriate cover as well. A lot of people like the horror movie The Leprechaun. And, you know, when I bought all these, at first I was going to buy most of them, but I was like, you know what, I'm not fooling, I'm not kidding around. No joke, folks, and I got political power Joe Biden. So, you know, again, people are like, oh my gosh, and there's telling me all these weird things about Joe Biden, which, you know, I've never heard in my entire lifetime. So I'm not going to. And a creepy cover here of Leprechaun from Lionsgate. Again, weird stuff here. This one here was originally $4. Imagine buying all these at the cover price. So that's the comics there that I got. I thought I had a few more. And again, I threw back the autographed one by mistake. Found a really cool African coin that fell through my cart, and I lost it at some point, so I don't know where that ended up. And then it was so ridiculous at the line checkout because one person is scrutinizing and analyzing everybody's stuff to the max. And the record player I bought, I was going to buy this VCR. I said, oh shoot, I forgot this VCR tape. He says, that's okay, just throw it on your electrical. And so, this is a minor miracle, a major success. When two stubborn priests, the world's greatest soccer player, and a dozen dirty orphans put their heads together, even City Hall can't stop them. And it says John Huston, Pele, and Peter Fox. So it's a soccer movie. I don't know, maybe it's a Bad News Bears soccer movie type thing. I've never heard of this. It's rated G. So we shall see what this is all about here. You can tell it was probably a VCR rental in a store because it's grossly faded. And sure enough, it's got all kinds of weird tags and stuff on it. So kind of fun there. I threw back some more VCR tapes, a Wonderworks one, but it was a feature films for family edition, so I didn't grab it. I could have used that for my collection. Just stuff just really kind of catches you by surprise how things really add up. You know, you buy 5 DVDs, and that's getting up there in price. Again, these are great prices outside you know, of a thrift store, but when you're in a thrift store, especially like the Goodwill by the pound, you know, you should not really be paying all these crazy prices, you know, because again, I had to throw a lot of stuff back. You know, 90% of the comic books had to be thrown back. And again, there could have been an entire run of the 12th Muse, or the 10th Muse. There could have been a whole run of those. There's tons of them. And then some of the ads on the back, I was hoping to have gotten one of those that had the Isis cartoon or show on the back of it. And I thought it was on this one. Let me see if I can find the ad for that. It was kind of neat there. I don't know if it's in here, but there was a 70s TV show, and hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying that, because it means something else nowadays. It was, you know, the Egyptian... no, it's not in this particular one here that I can find. I'm looking to see if there's any of it on the back here advertising that. Again, I just got really tired and started throwing back great wads of comic books without any kind of thought to them. And, you know, unfortunately, I said I should have probably grabbed some of those. Here's some of the other comic books. You know, the Obamas and the Palins and the Clintons and a few other people there. There was all kinds of titles like Howard Stern. Oh, you would not believe how many. Yeah, so very, very weird selection of comic books there. These do not fit in my collection, so that's why I had to kind of say no to them. But it's the first time I found comic books in an insanely long time, an increasingly long time at any thrift store. So it was just kind of fun to peruse them, grab some of the right ones, grab some of the wrong ones. Again, two of these, actually only one is a graphic novel. I guess I got the last minute I threw another one back. But anyway, that is today's haul. If anybody knows anything about these comic books, let me know. Put down in the comments if I've seen any of these. I used to see the political ones. I saw some of those. Used to see those in the comic book dump bins or whatever you want to call them for, you know, $1 a piece. Sometimes as low as 50 cents, but usually around the $2 benchmark there. Some of those increased in value due to the political landscape these days. But anyway, thank you for watching.